Hello and welcome. This video is brought to you by thestreamingadvisor.com. Tailor your entertainment with streaming. What we're looking at in this video is a service called Frndly. Frndly is a service built to satisfy the needs of mainly people who really like the romance movies, kind of those clean, almost syrupy romance movies. And I'm not really making fun of them. That's just almost the best way to describe them. And there are a lot of people out there who love that stuff. They get rid of cable and they find that they really miss it. Maybe they can't satisfy it with anything else. So here comes Frndly. You can find it in the streaming channel store on the Roku. There's a couple of ways to access it. There's that way, going through the main menu. And there's also a new way, which is go to that plus symbol and click Add Channels. They both bring you to the same thing, which is the channel store. Right now, Roku has a category called Cable Alternative. This is a new category, and sometimes they drop categories, so you might not always have it, but you see it's listed here with other, what people would think of as cord-cutting options. If you don't, for some reason, have the cord-cutting option, you can find Frndly by going to the channel search here, and you just start typing it in. And as soon as you get to FR, it sees that you're looking for Frndly. You'll also notice that it isn't spelled the way that you would think the word friendly would. I'm imagining that's because you can't copyright the word friendly. So they take out a couple of vowels, and there you go. So we're going to add this channel. And what you're going to see once we've added it is why, for instance, Roku has you set up a credit card. We're going to go to the bottom, which is going to be really easy to get to because we're going to start from the top and go up and launch Frndly. And what you'll see is you have your option to sign in or watch for 7 days. And what this does is it launches you into a trial. So we're going to go ahead and launch that trial and watch free for 7 days. See, it gives you a week, and over to the right you see these networks that are available. You might not recognize all of them. We'll kind of give you a basic idea of what they are, but there's very familiar things like the Weather Channel and the Game Show Network, and of course the Hallmarks. So what this is going to do is give you access to all of that, along with some on-demand options that you might really enjoy taking advantage of. But we're going to go through here, and we're going to continue, and you see that you have a chance to choose which kind of a setup you want. If you want DVR, you definitely want to go with the Classic for $7.99. That's the lower entry point. I think a 30-day DVR recording is probably pretty good. And you notice, though, that the amount of screens changes depending on what you get. You can even save money if you want to go with an annual billing. That's a feature that a lot of streaming services have these days. So you can get a bit of a discount. It's 15% off. So we're going to continue, and it gives you a chance to basically automatically create your account. You don't have to go to a website and create a whole bunch of stuff. And we did skip one thing, which is signing in to your Roku account and the credit card information that shows up when you do it. Because, hey, maybe I don't want you to see my credit card information, even between friends like us. But you're going to see that the basic menu is pretty simple. It has an on-demand section, which I think a lot of people who love this stuff will really enjoy because it allows you to scroll through and see everything that's available. It's on-demand stuff, though. It's a little different than some. If you look at the 12 Gifts of Christmas, it shows you when it came on. See, this one came on at 6 o'clock, December 15th. Christmas at Dollywood. This is different than a lot of services that just say list their movies in alphabetical order or categorize them. With Frndly, it's all about when did it come on and what time. So you notice all of the listings, Monday, December 16th at 6 p.m., 9 p.m., and so on. That makes it a little trickier to find things. Right now, it's kind of a close your eyes and throw a dart and hit a Christmas movie. It has a search if you're looking for something real specific, and we'll show you that a little later. But you see the networks, it's heavy into the Hallmark. Up TV is an actual cable channel that's kind of like Hallmark. But at the moment, during Christmas, you really can't tell a difference between one or the other. They're all basically heavy into Christmas. Up TV is a cable network that has a lot of different things. It has a kind of a mix of older TV shows. I've looked through the website. They have things like even Home Improvement and old sitcoms, things like that. Pixel is a commercial-free channel, so every single movie you have here, you just got it. You don't have to sit through any commercials. If you're watching it live, it's just going to go from one movie to another, to another, to another. Light TV is an over-the-air network, actually. If you live in an area that gets it, you might be able to pull it in with an antenna. But like a lot of cable channels, there is also an option to watch it in another way, which is like this. And so you see, there's a pretty decent selection of things. Like some older stuff like The Green Acres. Heartland is a show that you can find in a couple of places. But in general, this has a pretty steady lineup of what people would call family-friendly entertainment. In general, you probably recognize a lot of these things. I think of it kind of like Nick at Night, back when I was a kid. The Patty Duke Show, Mr. Ed. I believe they carry Flipper. The Game Show Network is the same game show network you would get with any cable package. So that means that you can just sit and binge game shows all day if that's your thing. Again, the on-demand is set up based on when things came on. And here you're going to take a look at some sports networks. They're all kind of the same, though. All of them are either hunting and fishing. In one case, you've got just fishing shows. But when I say hunting, we're talking, guns, longbows, things like that. It's an outdoorsman sort of lineup. All of the channels in this group are actually owned by the same company, so the programming is very, very similar. You're not going to see football or anything else on these channels. It's all, like I said, the outdoor sports. And here we can just click on the entire lineup. QVC, I'm sure you know. And Baby First is set up exactly for what it says. It's baby television. It's learning things, counting, numbers, colors. But that's the lineup. And it's not like a blow you away lineup. But it sort of does what it's supposed to do. Now, if you have recordings, you can jump in and it will save them for you. Its search is a little old-fashioned. It kind of reminds me of, what you see on something like Apple TV. Some people don't like that kind of number line setup. We're just searching for, let's see if there's anything called like candy, So, you see that it populates like it should based on what you're saying. Maybe we're saying candles, but no, we're saying candy. And here we are. And it looks like there's nothing called candy. What is that there? Oh, your move with Andy Stanley. Hey, Andy rhymes with candy, so, not bad. So we're going to clear that out, and we're going to take a look at the actual guide. Now, the guide looks just like you would expect from anything else. It breaks things down by channel. It gives you an idea of what day things are coming on and what time they're coming on. But what we're going to show you is that you can kind of go back and forth in the guide and select things. So while it's a live TV service, it's heavily integrated into its on-demand menu. So you can bounce around, take a look at when something came on, and you can just watch it. You don't have to be like, oh, I missed it. You just go right back, check it out. The important thing is, if you want to know what's live, it says so. These are the things that are live right here. Soda Springs, Dance With Me Henry, Deal or No Deal. That gives you a good idea. Because if you're watching something, if you're watching a show in the middle of something, you can get straight to what you're actually watching and not get lost. But that kind of option is cool. Now you'll notice if you go forward, you have the option to set your recording. If you've chosen one of the things with a DVR, that's where it really comes into play. It's an easy sort of guide to navigate, though there is one strange thing that we're going to show you a little later. Christmas in Love. You notice there's a theme here. Everything's Christmas this, Christmas that. At least as far as the TV channels, with the movies go. So you notice the guide. If you're scrolling through like this, if you're just holding the button down, you can't actually scroll back up into that main menu where it says Guide, On Demand, My Recordings. And if you have the service and you don't know that, you might think it's broken. What you have to do is tap it. If you're tapping up and down, you can go from the guide at the bottom to the menu at the top. If you're scrolling, you can't. And sort of the demarcation line is the Hallmark stuff. So if you're down in the Hallmark stuff, you're good to go, and you tap up at the third Hallmark or at the top of the list. If you tap up from Up TV or Light, it will not go back up to the main guide area. Don't ask me why they did that. I think that's kind of a problem. Now, something else we're doing right here is we're flipping back and forth. Look at the bottom of the screen where it says Previous Day, Next Day. You can flip directly to a day and go in. You can flip forward, for instance. We've done that where we're looking at the 19th. We can say we want to record episodes of Reba. Not to fill up the DVR, we're going to go ahead and stop recording. But that is the setup here. It's easy to navigate. Like I said, you can even go from day to day to day. The only drawback I would think is that you can't, there's not I wish there was categories. Their categories were better. I wish you could go to Light TV and just see what shows do they have and click on, how many episodes of this or that show, if it's Highway to Heaven, Quantum Leap, so on. But in general, that is Frndly TV. I hope you found that helpful. And if you're looking for that kind of entertainment, this is probably the way to go, because in general, these channels are hard to find on the other cable replacement services. Some that do have them have different channels broken up into different tiers. But this one puts it all right there. $7.99, $5.99 if you don't want DVR. So, if you found that helpful, please subscribe and share this with your friends. And as always, I'm Ryan Downey, the Streaming Advisor. Stream on, my friends.